On February 1, 2025, President Trump signed an executive order. This order imposed a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports. Additionally, it slapped a 25% tariff on imports from Mexico and Canada. These tariffs were set to take effect on February 4th. A brief reprieve came for Mexico and Canada on February 3rd. Trump announced a 30-day pause on their tariffs. However, the tariffs on Chinese imports went into effect as planned on February 4th. China retaliated immediately. They imposed duties on U.S. goods. China also launched an anti-monopoly investigation into Google. The trade war escalated further in the following weeks. On February 10th, Trump announced plans to increase steel and aluminum tariffs. These would rise to 25%, effective March 12th. He followed this with a proposal on February 13th for reciprocal tariffs. This meant matching the import taxes of other countries. Trump continued his aggressive trade policies throughout February. He issued an executive order on February 25th. This order considered tariffs on imported copper. On March 1st, he issued another executive order. This time it targeted lumber and timber imports for potential tariffs. The situation reached a boiling point in early March. On March 4th, the 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports took effect. However, Canadian energy imports faced a lower 10% tariff. China also doubled its tariffs on U.S. imports to 20%. Both Canada and Mexico vowed to retaliate. A small concession came on March 5th. U.S. automakers received a one-month tariff exemption. On March 6th, Trump postponed the 25% tariffs on some Mexican and Canadian imports. This postponement was only for 1 month. The trade war had begun. Trump's actions sent shockwaves through the global economy. Countries scrambled to protect their interests. The future of international trade hung in the balance. China responded to the escalating trade war with a calculated strike. On March 8, 2025, they announced retaliatory tariffs. These tariffs specifically targeted Canada. Canola oil and meal faced a 100% tariff. Peas were also hit with a 100% tariff. Canadian pork and seafood exports faced a 25% tariff. These tariffs were set to take effect on March 20th. China's retaliation was a direct response to Canada's actions. In October 2024, Canada had imposed tariffs on Chinese goods. These included a 100% tariff on electric vehicles and a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum. China's move was strategic. They aimed to pressure Canada. The message was clear: don't cooperate with U.S. tariff demands. China wanted to prevent its goods from being blocked. They were concerned about their goods being blocked from entering the U.S. market. This was especially concerning if it happened through North American trade agreements. China's tariffs sent shockwaves through the Canadian economy. Agricultural producers were particularly vulnerable. The tariffs threatened to disrupt long-standing trade relationships. The situation highlighted the complex web of global trade. It showed how quickly disputes could escalate. Canada refused to back down in the face of Chinese and American pressure. They responded to Trump's initial tariffs with their own retaliatory measures. They imposed $30 billion, US $21 billion, in tariffs on a range of U.S. goods. They also suspended a second wave of tariffs worth $125 billion, US $87 billion. This suspension came after Trump's temporary pause on tariffs. However, when Trump implemented the 25% tariffs on March 4th, Canada retaliated in full force. They announced tariffs on over $100 billion of U.S. goods. Canada's response demonstrated their resolve. They were willing to defend their economic interests. The tariffs were carefully targeted. They aimed to exert maximum pressure on the U.S. The situation highlighted the deep economic ties between the two countries. However, it also exposed the underlying tensions. Canada's refusal to be bullied by either China or the U.S. signaled a shift in their foreign policy. The trade war put Canada in a difficult position. They were caught in the crossfire between their two largest trading partners. They faced pressure from both sides. The situation had no easy solutions. Section 4: Mexico's measured response seeking de-escalation amidst tensions. Mexico's response to the trade war was cautious and measured. President Claudia Sheinbaum indicated that Mexico would retaliate with tariffs of their own. However, they refrained from providing specifics. Their priority was de-escalation. They aimed to find a negotiated solution. Mexico's approach reflected their close economic relationship with the U.S. The US was their largest trading partner. However, they also recognized the need to protect their own interests. Mexico's measured response helped to prevent a complete breakdown in trade relations. They walked a fine line between defending their interests and avoiding further escalation. Their actions highlighted the importance of diplomacy and dialogue in resolving trade disputes. Section 5. Global trade under threat, the far-reaching implications of a trade war. The trade war between the US, China, and Canada had far-reaching implications for the global economy. The interconnectedness of global trade meant that the effects of the tariffs would be felt worldwide. Businesses and consumers alike faced uncertainty and rising costs. The trade war threatened to disrupt global supply chains and dampen economic growth. The trade war highlighted the fragility of the rules-based trading system. It raised questions about the future of globalization and international cooperation. The situation served as a stark reminder of the importance of open markets and fair trade practices.